think to be a Sheffield Bruin, you've got to be competitive, you've got to be willing to put the effort in, and as long as you can come and have fun and join in with the lads, then you'll fit right in as part of the team. So I got into baseball initially through my other half, Josh. So he played baseball for the Sheffield Blade Runners and convinced me to go along with him to training. And initially there weren't that many people attending training, so I just joined in for fun, just to make up the numbers really, and then really enjoyed it and started playing myself. In the future, I see the club massively expanding. Hopefully, we're getting a second team after this next season, and I'd like to see that we recruit more young people into the sport, hopefully develop kids teams at different ages and build up a system that we can develop young players right through to the more experienced adults and have every level of baseball going. Yes, as part of the club, I'm currently the general manager, so that involves just overseeing the running of the club, making sure I'm liaising with the council and different other teams to make sure that the games are all going ahead. So on the club, I generally play second base as my primary position. I really enjoy it there. I like being on the infield, getting the ground balls, and having to work with the other members of the infield.
Hi, my name's Josh Taylor. I'm a pitcher, centre fielder, and sometimes a catcher for the Sheffield Bruins Baseball Club. To be a Sheffield Bruin, I think it takes commitment, and I would say something that you just have to want. This team's had to always prove something, so I think if you're willing to put in the effort, a bit of grit and determination, then this is the club that you want to be a part of. I got into baseball really through family that live over in Toronto in Canada. So at a young age, first went to go and watch the Toronto Blue Jays play back in the days of Carlos Delgado, and from that point was hooked on it and haven't changed my views since. I can see the club growing mainly through development programs that come together with the Sheffield Cubs. I think that's the best way for us to grow. Getting people involved, keeping up this sort of like community that we've got, all good friends, and just trying to grow it outwards that way, and using the knowledge we have from the good players to help the guys that are starting to learn the sport. And as for the players who are playing in the AAA, hopefully the sky's the limit. You know, we're in Spain right now. Who's to say we can't be doing this all the time? For me, my biggest inspiration as a baseball player was probably Roy Halladay. Just an exceptional pitcher. I was lucky to see him pitch a number of times as a Blue Jay in the, as it was then, the Sky Dome. Unreal baseball player, fantastic attitude, unbelievable stuff, and he was just an all-round good guy. And you know, we see that with the way people still remember him as an absolute legend and somebody who just had a great understanding of the game. And for me, if I can be 1/8 of that baseball player, you know, I've done something good.
Feel those rays. Fat rays. I'm Charlie Bather. I play first base, and that's about it. So, what does it take to be a Sheffield Bruin? I suppose a commitment of a bit of spare time, attitude to try and improve yourself, and sort of just the willingness to listen. It's quite simple. We don't think we recruit for a skill cap. We just want people to enjoy being part of something that wants to improve and wants to get better. How did I get into baseball? I randomly got invited by Josh, and I would firmly say that that's the only recruitment method that really works. You've kind of, it's hard to convince a stranger to give up an hour to try something, but you've got a lot more chance convincing a friend to come along. I took that chance on Josh, and now here I am playing in a different country and committing a large portion of my life to it and things like that. My biggest inspiration in baseball, that's a tough question. I kind of draw inspiration from everyone around me. I think it's our current team inspires me a lot because I can really see the effort that everyone's putting in. Obviously, I really like watching a few professional players, but they have so much more time to practice and things like that. You know, I'd love to be able to swing the bat like Yelich and do the things he can do, but really, I get my energy from the rest of the team, really. That's how I'm motivated to play. Where do I see the team progressing to? Well, hopefully we want to kind of expand outwards as well as upwards, get better, obviously, but also have more participants and access more people and, you know, offer what we think is a great sport to more people. I'd love to see us get permanent facilities and work on our facilities, and I think we've got the capability to do that. I think we've played catch up to the rest of the league, with no disrespect, quite well on both the playing side and the facility side. Really, we're on par with a lot of teams. So imagine what can happen if we're given 5 years, 8 years, 10 years to work as a team and stuff like that. I think we've got a good basis to work on, really.